Alex, you're in Howard Beach, Queens, where I almost can't believe it has been 1 year since Karina Vetrano was murdered. What do you got?
1 year to the day, Karina Vetrano said goodbye to her father, Phil, and went for a late afternoon jog that she never came back from. Karina's last breath was so close to what seemed like the safety of home. She clawed at and fought her killer, but her family and her neighborhood were not there to help her. Ideas of total security in the place where she grew up in were made into a myth by a complete stranger and acres of tall weeds. In one moment, the former safe haven of Howard Beach turned into a dark place, and her family descended into a long year of pain. I've been here covering this story since just after Phil and Kathy Vetrano buried their daughter last August. No one knew at that point what had happened. Was it a random attack? Did she have a stalker? Was there a killer who was watching and waiting to strike again? Tensions ran high amid the community, and the wives and the children of the firefighters, contractors, and cops who make up Howard Beach boiled over with anger at one of the community meetings.
It took a life. It took a life. Isn't that enough?
As the weeds turned brown and summer turned into fall, there were theories. There was an NYPD sketch. There was a profile. Nothing. I tried out some theories of my own.
It's what's called an anger retaliation rapist.
Okay.
And an anger retaliation rapist hates women.
I got to know Karina's father, Phil. He's a strong guy. He's a tough guy whose daughter's happiness was so important to him that he laid in the back of a rented minivan for 3 days with a bad back rather than break his promise to take his daughter with him on a trip to Las Vegas. But all the strength that you have can't be enough when your world is completely ripped apart. In January, retired homicide detective Gary Britton and I went out to talk to Phil. Phil's pain was boxed away, but I could read his anger.
Matthew 5:38.
Okay.
An eye for an eye.
Okay.
Retribution, it's called. Forgiveness is not up to me.
We started to suspect that the attack on Karina was random, horribly random. One Sunday in February, Phil was in Florida when he got a call. It was the NYPD. We got him, they said. Phil and his family rushed to a crowded courtroom to lay eyes on this man, who police said had murdered and sexually assaulted their loved one. Who did they see? A young man with more appearance to a willowy child than the stone-cold killer they were expecting.
I thought that he would look like a criminal, you know, like a killer.
What does he look like?
He looks like a regular guy. You know, why would, you know, he doesn't look like somebody that would do that to my daughter.
Since then, Phil and Kathy, their family and friends, have gone to every single hearing that have been held for Chanel Lewis, the accused killer of Karina Vetrano. I have to wonder if it's torture or therapy for them to walk into a darkened courtroom, looking that person in the eye, not knowing if they're going to hear more horrors about the way Karina died or simple bureaucracy for an emotional torment that now has a docket number. I know it's not closure. Today in Howard Beach, the community gathered together to try and lift the pall of the last year with a memorial walk for Karina along the steps that she had jogged the afternoon that she died. It's another season, Bill, another summer, and the weeds are back here in full force. In a way, we're all still lost in the weeds because police say Karina's murder was completely and totally random. And that's hard for the people of Howard Beach, basically hard for anyone, to accept completely. In addition, the residents here are concerned about safety conditions in the park and that the National Park Service, which operates this since it's federal land, has not done enough to secure the area and make sure that another killing like this can never happen again. In some ways, the safety still hasn't returned to Howard Beach.